Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Keegan. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave your opinions down there in the comment section. Blanco Brown, Honeysuckle, and Lightning Bugs. Blanco Brown is an American singer, songwriter, rapper, and producer who before becoming huge has actually helped out produce for big names such as Chris Brown and Pitbull. Only this year has he become essentially viral with his debut single The Get Up earlier this year, which blew up on TikTok and currently has 136 million streams on Spotify as of recording this video. He released an EP also earlier this year, which I didn't check out, but that's fine, as those songs, including The Get Up, feature on this album. He claims that his genre of music is trailer trap, which is an odd but I suppose fitting name for a blend of trap rap and country music. Also, when reviewing the songs, I won't be counting the other songs in the EP as singles, so just remember that. The album is a quaint 10 songs, clocking in at 33 minutes, so it's not a bad length, but let's see how the music is. We'll start with the singles, with there only being one, of course, which was The Get Up. The closer to this album, which was reported to be the spiritual successor of Old Town Road, and I think it excels at doing that in a few parts. First off, the song really accentuates that country feeling with these lyrics about line dancing, and Blanco's vocals have the southern twang, which being from Georgia probably would help that. I can definitely see this being a massive success if a bunch of people just start line dancing along to it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's already happened. This feels a lot more tried and true country song than a hybrid of the two. That middle line of country and rap is actually very hard to land on successfully. Most of the time there are elements of the song leaning towards one or the other, whereas Old Town Road is a little bit more rap-leaning. So thematically, The Get Up is more interesting, engaging, and traditional of a song than Old Town Road is, but as a song as a whole, I think Old Town Road beats it out. Again, the song really is just a line dancing song, so it may be subject to being played once at a club or at some sort of ranch or something like that cha-cha slide song. It's fun on first listen, but it's a song on a playlist, or in my case, listening to the whole thing over and over again, it really starts to become a bit of a chore to listen to. Unlike Old Town Road, which is actually pretty fun throughout, and actually can be replayed several times. The Get Up is fun to return to every now and then, but I wouldn't recommend it for a playlist. Now for the rest of the songs. Temporary Insanity, the opener, is a completely different shift from The Get Up. It's not rap, and it does not even feel like country, aside from Blanco's voice. Speaking of his voice, it's probably his greatest asset, but also his greatest weakness. Sure, at times that's got emotion, it feels sincere, and at times I would say better than other country stars. But also at times it's very evident that Blanco is a little bit of an inexperienced singer, especially when it comes to slower songs like this. There's quite a few voice cracks on this song, and his falsettos feel extremely forced, bordering on ear grating. This song kind of blends those two together, so there are times where his voice is really enjoyable, such as the chorus, except for his ad-libs at the end of the first half, which kind of take away from any deep feeling the lyrics have. But there are also times where, mainly on the verses and pre-choruses, it's apparent that he's trying a bit too hard to make it sound fluid. This intro is a little bit of a mixed bag in my opinion. The lyrics are impactful, the instrumental is pretty reserved, and his delivery varies. I could take it or leave it. HeadNod, which is one word for some reason. Blanco immediately starts this song on a strange voice, trying to pull this extremely fake, deep, tough and rough and cowboy voice, which is so forced. It almost sounds like if Johnny Cash tried to do a stereotypical southern voice. However, it does go away fairly quickly. The song also borders a bit more towards country, even down to the lyrics with drinking, Ford, you got those standard country cliches. The chorus feels a bit weird. It's got a trap skittering drum loop and a banjo, but the banjo blends in with Blanco's voice a little bit too well, so much so that it almost becomes unintelligible at times. The song is definitely trying to be more than The Get Up, and I think it does a solid job at it. It's not perfect, but it's also nothing to scoff at either. Funky Tonk is easily the most captivating song on this album. The first thing I like to point out are the spoons in the instrumental. Maybe I haven't been listening to that much country lately, but it's been a long time since I've heard spoons worked into a song, so it's always nice to hear something new. This one's even more country than any of the songs so far, and probably could have been just as successful as The Get Up. The chorus is just such a jam. It just slides so well with a bit more of a melodic rap flow. The middle of the song is kind of a lull. It's got a stuttering slow flow, but it does pick up again when the pre-chorus comes around. I would recommend this song to listen to. If you're not that big into country like I am, this is probably the most accessible song aside from The Get Up on this album, and I love it. CountryTime is probably the most accurate and ironic title I've seen in a while, as it has a lot of country elements such as the vocal melodies, the clapping during the end, and terminology. But it's almost the most rap song on here too, which is definitely present in the lyrics, which are mostly about smoking, gunshots, fuck the police, the usual, and also some stuttering flows and even a rapid-fire flow that would make some of today's rappers jealous. The song also features some of Blanco's best vocals yet, I think this song actually manages to land on that line between country and rap that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and is probably one of my favorite songs from this album. Georgia Power is a little bit of a toned down version of CountryTime. It has a lot of similar aspects, but this time we get a bit more country-centric lyrics. We do get a nice rapid-fire flow on the chorus with some less than stellar lyrics. Speaking of toned down, Blanco's vocals also seem a little bit less passionate or expressive this time around, almost like he's trying to make the song a bit more like a ballad. However, the pre-chorus features these step-step clap vocals, sounding more like a casual, less intense version of Queen's We Will Rock You, although it does still have that country flavor. The refrain is a spoken word passage about moving on from a significant lover, which I think takes away from the vibe as I cannot take it seriously. I'll take CountryTime over this any day of the week. Not a bad song, but Blanco's done better. Gemini, Damn Right, is a bit of a weird situation. I thought it was pretty much filler on this album, as there wasn't really much that stood out to me on this song when compared to the rest of the album, until I heard that lovely guitar solo with the claps, skittering drums, and the banjo. But that moment alone didn't catch me. After a few repeated listens, I think this song probably has the best melodies on this entire album. Lyrically, the song is just feel good about packing all your things, driving in your car, and going to do whatever you feel, as the sky's the limit. The song has an irresistible groove, and I think it's another keeper, probably one of the best ones here. Ghett ol' memories, which is meant to mean good ol' memories. I do like the clever wordplay though, and it even shows in the lyrics where Blanco sings about baseball in the front yard catching fireflies, but also mentioning how there were gunshots and sirens all the time, hence the reference to the ghetto. This song has an overall nice sentiment to it, and we get another nice but short guitar solo near the end. His long note at the end of the chorus is actually quite impressive, as he doesn't choke or crack or anything like that. Not much else to talk about here, but if you do want a deep, reflective song to check out, this would be the one. Don't Love Her is purely a country song through and through, but it's also probably one of the worst songs from this album. Not even just because it's only country, but it's just extremely generic, especially in its lyrics. Basically about how he's assuming this person's gonna stay, but they broke his heart, and now he doesn't love them anymore. Also, Blanco's pitched vocals on the chorus sound pretty bad, almost like he's either trying to make his regular voice higher as well, or he's congested. And it also goes on for the last minute of the song. I think I'm going to pass on this one. And finally, TN Whiskey, which is the abbreviation for Tennessee Whiskey, is very similar to Temporary Insanity, the opener. However, I personally prefer this song as Blanco's vocals aren't being pushed to their absolute limits. They seem genuinely passionate. Lyrically, it's about being in emotional pain after this girl's been lying to him, but now he has to accept that. It's a bit of a tough song, and also the slowest song on this album. While the vocal performance is nice, I don't think that alone is enough to save it, especially from this overly deep guitar picking and skittering trap drum. Another pass for me. Overall, this is a very unique fusion of genres, and I'd be lying to your face right now if I said I didn't enjoy listening to this album. Lil Nas X couldn't even pull it off this well, so I must commend Blanco for making a wonderfully enjoyable album that I personally believe has more of a country twang than it has a rap flair. So I suppose this is my first country album review. Should I review more country? If you've made it this far, I'll leave some suggestions for some country albums I could review. Rambling aside, while Honeysuckle and Lightning Bugs is not a perfect album, Blanco may need a bit more singing work if he wants to truly be an emotional singer, maybe find a few more engaging instrumentals in a banjo and a trap drum, but I did come away from this album with an overall positive experience. I'm feeling about a 7 out of 10 on this album. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.